But Arsenal started like a house on fire. Signing number 2 for this new era. It's Judgment Day, people. Yeah! What did your boy tell you? It was never in doubt. Never in doubt. Don't believe in any love, I believe I'm self-made, yeah. Then people, welcome back to the Just Joe football show. Still not started out that new intro yet, but I will do. Don't worry about it. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit that notification bell. I'm going to let you into a little secret here now as well. I've just literally done that about 5 minutes ago, watching YouTube, saying, why am I not on the screen? And I'm talking to you in the chat going, let me know if it's just my YouTube that's playing up, folks. Let me know in the chat. And I'm staring at YouTube and I'm like, why is it not on? And then I looked and I'd not even clicked live. So I was literally talking to myself. I was going, chat, am I live? Am I live? I hadn't even clicked live. So, of course, I wasn't live. But listen, we've got loads to go through today. Thank you, everyone, for continuing to show up and support the channel. It was amazing last night on The Final Word. We had like over 1,200 people. It's been well received, that show. You know, hopefully we'll do some sort of like season review. But I want to like keep it specifically for after the game because I think it's a really good format that we've got going on there. And plus, we're going to be jam-packed with a lot of transfer stuff and owner stuff and manager stuff, man. It never stops, does it? It never stops. I think I was worried about us dropping down to the EFL, but I think from a fan perspective, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Just to give you a heads up, Late Night Leeds will be back tonight as well. I guess you could say last night was Late Night Leeds because it was like 10 p.m. till about 11:15, wasn't it? I'm working 5 till 11 though, so I wanted to jump on now. And then I'll probably be live about 11:15 tonight as well, folks. I'll be hopping straight on and we'll cover some more news. But listen, over the last 24 hours, there's been all sorts coming out. Stuff about Cody Drameh, Dan James, Ilian Melier, managers. Still no clearer on who's going to be running the football club. I mean, that needs to be sorted out first and foremost. So you have to take all these sort of rumours with a pinch of salt because who's the one that's making the decision? Who's signing them off? That's the thing in it. But listen, we'll talk about news whether we believe it or not, right? Because we'll say at the time, I think this is guff. I think this has got legs to it, if you like. Listen, we've got over 200 people in the chat. Please smash a like on the video if you haven't already. It'd be great if you could do that for me. Right, listen, we'll jump straight in. Obviously, we know that the current situation at Sampdoria is that Radrizzani's basically bid has been rejected, but there's a deadline set for that. I believe the deadline is set because they need to pay players' salaries. And if they don't pay these players' salaries by a set time, I think it could actually be at some point today, then they will incur a 4-point deduction, but they're going to receive some sort of points deduction going into next season if they do not pay the salaries of the players. Now, of course, we know that Radrizzani is willing to cover that, but for whatever reason, I don't know the ins and outs on it, but his bid was rejected. Whether or not the current owner's waiting, I think it was accepted by the board, but then rejected by the owner himself, if you like. Maybe he wants some more cash out of Radrizzani. Maybe he's aware that Radrizzani might be looking to move Leeds United on. I think that's fair to say. So. Maybe they're waiting on that, but we listen. It's a joke of a situation that he's having these issues buying up this football club while we still are none the wiser. I genuinely thought they would have at least released a statement to say, just a heads up, folks, we are going to be taking over. It's probably going to be done by this day, or even just to say we're in negotiations. We're in negotiations. We hope to get it cleared up. But there's literally been nothing. Even the statement we got after we were relegated wasn't signed by anyone. Do you know what I mean? It literally looked like it was put together by ChatGPT. So what that doesn't stop, of course, is players leaving, because we're aware and we're hearing now that quite a lot of players have certain release clauses. I'm going to jump straight into this article that did the rounds yesterday. We didn't really speak on it. We touched on it briefly. Brendan Aronson has a relegation release clause in his Leeds United contract. This was put together by Tom Bogart and Phil Hay. I'm not sure what that relegation release clause is set at. Obviously, Leeds signed him for 25 million last summer, which is insane because Brendan Aronson has gone nowhere close to even repaying 5% of that. I know USA men's national team fans will tell me different, but he's been rubbish and he's not physically ready for the Premier League. I think there's a lot of fans outside of Leeds United that don't watch Brendan Aronson that are quite big fans of him. I've been on shows where people will say, who would you take if Leeds United would go down? And a few people have said, oh, I'd take Brendan Aronson. He's actually pretty rubbish, in my opinion. I was speaking to my friend who says, oh, we need a creator. You know, Brendan Aronson's I don't see that. I don't see that. His numbers have been piss poor for me. Maybe if we had a better strike, he would have better numbers. But I can't remember 10 clear-cut chances that Brendan Aronson has created for Leeds United this season. One or two, maybe. But yeah, Brendan Aronson has a release clause. There was talk that Leeds United want to keep him, but it did say later on in the article, just bear me one moment. I know on the original tweet, not so much the article, but when I look on the original tweet, it does say that Brendan Aronson will assess options. Now, for me as a fan, I really got pissed off with that because I'm like, how dare you? How dare you assess options? You have no right to assess options. I'm okay with that, Jack Harrison. But with Brendan Aronson assessing options, I'm like, no, you are not allowed to assess options. You must stay. You must stay.
Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I'm not. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, he should be saying, I'm not, man. I'm not going anywhere. But the thing is, I don't know if I want him, which is mad, isn't it? It's like you can't have your cake and eat him, Joe. I just don't like the fact that he's the one being able to call the shots. But listen, clubs have to reach that release clause. I'd like to know what that release clause is. I think if it's 10, 15 million, it probably will get activated. If it's 25, 30, it's not getting activated. I think if anyone is going near Brendan Aronson at 25 to 30 million, they need to check that they're sane. Genuinely. So yeah, Brendan Aronson can leave for me if he sees fit. I just don't see how you'll be able to compete in the Championship if you've struggled in the Premier League. Because if anything, the Championship's more physically demanding. You play more games for a start. You know, you play 46 games, throwing in cup games. Hopefully we'll have a big enough squad to contend with that, but I'll dare say we won't, because that would mean spending loads of cash. Yes, it is slower, Josh. That's fair enough. But I still think if he can get blown over by wind at times, can you imagine an Aidan Flint, you know, a Charlie Creswell, someone of that ilk that's built like a brick shit house that will just put this lad on the weights, literally on the weights, you know? Not for me. I don't know. I hope I'm proved wrong. I hope I'm proved wrong. But if he does stick around the place, I think he'll find it tough. Yeah, it's like that cliche, innit? Can he handle a cold, windy night on Tuesday away at Stoke or whatever? I don't think he's got the facilities for that.
So we don't have the capacity.
No, not a chance. Julio Gomez says, I agree 100%. Aronson and McKennie have not lived up to expectation, but they didn't give up 29 goals in the last 9 games. What do you mean? I didn't say they did. See, what you've done there, Julio, is taking it personal because they're American
and saying that they're not. I'm not saying they're at fault. I'm just talking about one player individually. I didn't even speak about McKennie. This is what I mean. It's far too precious. I really respect you, Julio. You contribute to my channel. You always have good chat. But what I'm saying is, I didn't say they're the reason we've gone down because they conceded 29 goals in the last 9 games. I didn't say that. I'm aware that defensively we're an absolute joke. I'm aware that even Leeds fans have gassed up Max Fober like the second coming, when in actual fact, when you deep it, he's not even good, in my opinion. We had Rasmus, who I think he's just not a good footballer playing at centre-back. Is it any wonder we conceded 29 goals? But this has been a byproduct of since Bielsa. We conceded goals under Bielsa. You know, I'm not saying he was any better defensively, because he wasn't. Second season around, players knew how to beat the man-marking system, and we got shredded. So the defence has been conceding goals like this for season upon season, under manager. Now, it's hard for me to look at it objectively, and I will sit and admit this. I struggled to look at it objectively under Bielsa because of him and because of how he made me feel about the football club. But the facts are that we have been poor defensively for quite some time. I never agreed with other content creators that said we were the worst defence in the league. I never agreed when I heard people barrage it. But now, in the cold light of day, when I can sit back and assess it, the defence is absolutely abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. And they are at fault, much like Mellier's been at fault, who, again, I gassed up many, many times. But please don't take Aronson. This is not personal. I'm just saying I'm looking at him individually, and that's all. I did not mention he's any reason as to why we're going down. It's a collective effort, and collectively, we were piss poor.
It's a fact. I am not playing mind games. I am talking about facts.
I am. Toby says, give him 1 season in the champ if still gash sell. No, but Toby, we don't have we don't have the choice, right? We don't have the choice if someone activates his release clause. And what we also need to remember, if we sit on a player for another year that's poor, then we lose even more money on him. And we need to remember that. Julio says those were just my thoughts. No worries, brother. No worries at all. Look, we'll move on now, Brendan Aronson. It'll be interesting to see, won't it? It will be interesting to see whether or not a club activates that release clause. I'd love to know what that release clause is. You know what I mean? There's been another article doing the rounds. I've seen a couple of times. I believe it's an American publication. And they're saying that Tyler Adams has a release clause in his contract. Which states, which is around about £30 million. Now, I could see someone activating that, no bother. The only issue is, how long's Tyler Adams' layoff going to be? Will he be joining up with the USA men's national team for the bout of internationals that are due to come? It remains to be seen. But they're saying that Sevilla in La Liga, look, he is the one shining light of this current crop of signings that we've had this season. You could argue pros and cons for the rest, but I think the majority of Adams, his injury aside, is 90% in the pro in terms of what he's given us and how much we've missed him. It would have been interesting under Big Sam and even under Grazia for a period. Had Tyler Adams remained fit, would Leeds United have gone down? We would have got more out of McKennie. We probably would have got more out of Rocker under Javi had Tyler Adams been playing in front of the back four. It is such a damn shame that he did get injured and could well be one of the deciding factors as to why Leeds United found themselves down where they are. Look, defensively, the defence needed protection. Whenever Calvin was out under Bielsa, we were rubbish. We tried everybody there and we could just never cope. And I feel that was the same under Tyler. But if indeed this relegation, again, this publication, I'm not too sure on the validity of it. But look, if there is a release clause that's around, which is around about the £30 million mark, then that gets activated. For me personally, I don't think we paid that right. What did we actually pay for Tyler Adams in the end? Let me just have a look. The dog's decided to join us. I can't remember now. I'm just going to have a quick look on Transfermarkt, but I don't think it hit that amount, did it? I don't think we paid 30 million for him. We got him quite at a decent price, to be fair. 70 million. 70 million. 70 million according to Transfermarkt. Billy, Marco, let me get you that. Yeah, there you go if you want that toy. Yeah, 70 million. Insane. Insane, actually. When you actually look at it, maybe with add-ons it was close to 25, but according to Transfermarkt, the fee was 17 million. People are saying 18. So, yeah, look, reluctantly, if Tyler Adams was to leave, at least you're almost doubling your money. That's great business, actually, to be fair. The fact that we managed to get him for what we did. And I think, look, at the time, there was a lot of Leeds fans that weren't even that big on Tyler Adams, you know what I mean? So maybe felt that price was a little bit inflated at the time because he'd come out of the Leipzig team, etc. But it was some bargain, actually, when you think about it. So a great bit of business from the football club. Harrington's release fee is about 10p, says Sean. Aye. Julio says, many Americans don't succeed at the highest level. It's because America rewards mediocrity. The USA men's national team look forward to rewarding a failing Jesse Marsh to manage their program, just confirms that. Buyer beware. Good point, Julio. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many USA men's national team accounts back Jesse as much when he's actually managing the USA men's national team. Someone's just said there's been an update on Sky on Football Daily on the Radrazani situation. Let me just have a quick listen to this. Football Daily. I don't know if you can hear this. He's locked in advanced negotiations over a revised deal to sell the club to the 49ers. That's positive. They still want to purchase the remaining 56% stake, but not at the previously agreed price, which is fair enough. Radrazani float to the USA late last week, but that was only if they stayed up. One sec. So okay, so Radrazani. Right, so apparently, yeah, it's not new information. Basically, what they're saying is he's still deciding whether he'll sell. He's also open to selling, and also him and Angus Kinnear will see a transition period before the new owners take foot. It's a shit show. I thought we were getting some clarity there, and we haven't. They've just, yeah. It's rubbish. It's rubbish. We're just gonna wait and see. I don't know. It's pissing me off, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Nothing new. Nothing new. So yeah, we move. It's a bit rubbish, really. That I thought we were going to get something. I don't like that transition period. What do you mean? If you own the football club, boot them out, get them gone, please. I can't be dealing with it. 29th, which is today, I believe, right? I'm not rehashing old news. No, that was yesterday. That was an article from yesterday. Sorry, I'm just catching up. Just want to touch on all things that we might have missed and on the channel. Obviously, the Sam Allardyce chat. He's going to have a chat with the 49ers. I don't want Sam Allardyce to stay. I was open to the idea when he initially came in. The fact that he got 2 draws. No, 1 draw. He got 1 point out of 4. The final day performance was not acceptable. Yeah, not great. And the performance, the style, the amount of defenders, just not good. So for me, I'd like Big Sam to stay and tell the 49ers what he thinks of the players behind the scenes, but then say, okay, thank you for your advice. We're going to go in a different direction, but we will take what you've said on board. You know, we'll take what you've said on board. So we'll have to wait and see. But I do think it'd be very underwhelming for the majority of the Leeds United fan base if he was to take charge next season. I think we all want a fresh start. You know, there was a lot on the social media about this reported bust-up. Bamford and McKennie having a straightener, and then Brendan Aronson punching someone. And I seen all that this morning, and my thoughts are, I'm not bothered anymore. We move on. It's done now. I don't care what happened. We've gone down. A lot of them are going to leave. Some have already left. Just, it is what it is. Like, it's all just clout at this point, and I can't be arsed with it anymore. Those that are interested in Potter, apparently he's in advanced talks with Crystal Palace. I did think the Potter, as though some fans don't want him, I do think the Potter thoughts or for him coming in were a bit of a pipe dream anyway. I don't see him dropping down to the Championship. Let me bring up this article now. So apparently, Ilian Meslier is wanted by both Manchester United and Chelsea, despite recent form. So it's been reported that Chelsea and Manchester United are set to battle it out for Leeds United goalkeeper Ilian Meslier. Obviously, we know that he's going to be one of a load of players that will exit Ellen Road, as the article said. He's only 23. Let's not forget he got the most clean sheets for a player under the age of 21. Look, Chelsea tried to sign him when he was at Lorient, but he felt that it was Anthony Adarob says, you don't have to believe it, bro. But what I will say to you here, Chelsea tried to sign Meslier from Lorient before he moved to Leeds United the season before, but he'd only just broke into the first team, wanted to stay in France. Then Leeds United obviously picked him up. I believe Manchester United are going to be in the hunt for a new goalkeeper, one that can use his feet. Even though De Gea got the Golden Glove, I do think Chelsea and potentially Man United fans would be underwhelmed by the signing of Meslier. But for me, he's still a top keeper and will go far in the game. I'm just disappointed it's not going to be at Leeds United, to be honest. But yeah, Ilian Meslier apparently is wanted by both Man United and Chelsea. Listen, it's saying here, Meslier was being touted in the region of 40, 50 million. I don't think we get anywhere close to that now. I do think he will go to a top side. I have said before, he will win things. I think Meslier is very, very decent. I know people won't look at it that way now, but for me, he is and will go far. He's only 23. Goalkeepers do not hit their prime till, 30s? You know what I mean? So there's still life in the old dog yet. And had we have stayed up, maybe we could have commanded 40 to 50 to 60. But now, it's been touted around about 20 million, which I think is probably more in line with us being relegated, etc. So look, it'll be interesting to see. And it's no secret that a lot of scouts across Europe have still been looking at Meslier as a viable option, even though he's had poor form. But listen, Hugo Lloris had poor form. David De Gea had poor form. Goalkeepers hit poor form, especially when they're young, and they can come through that. David De Gea, regardless of what you think of him, he had really poor time of it when he first came over, and then he's has been one of the best goalkeepers in the last decade in the Premier League. Let's be real. So it is what it is. Sean says, as Jer said last night, get Allardyce in as director of football. No, not for me, mate. Not for me. Right. So this article, and I was tagged in this a lot of time, and obviously he's on the thumbnail as well. Cody Drameh. So Joe Donohue's title for me is a little bit clickbaity because it says Cody Drameh open to staying at Leeds. When you actually go through the article, where does it say that? Who has he said this to? I'm not sure it actually says that. So I'm not too sure. Like when people are tagging me in it, I was thinking, oh wow, yeah, it's come from where's it come? Where's the validity? But when you actually look, there's not really much on there. There's chat about him obviously going to Cardiff. There's chat about him then going under to loan to Luton. And apparently, according to the YEP, which I'll share the article with you now. Just bear with us 1 minute. There were actual concrete bids for Cody Drameh towards the end of the deadline day last summer. However, Drameh and his representatives opted to bide their time, deciding a transfer so late in the window did not suit, i.e. just go get some more experience, get ourselves in the shop window. So they rejected the permanent move. Leeds United maybe looked to have moved him on. We know that he requested a loan move when he was under Bielsa, and then he went on loan again this season. Apparently, he shared a good relationship with Jesse Marsh, but that doesn't matter now because Jesse's not even here. And then nothing. There's nothing in there where he said, "I want to stay." It does say the changing landscape at Leeds is likely to present a clean slate for all parties, and talks over a new deal could begin when he makes a decision on his future. But that's what I mean. So he hasn't made a decision on his future, and he's not said he's open to returning. There's nothing in there that says that for me. And it does say several clubs in the Championship and newly promoted Premier League sides are interested in the fullback services. However, what they do say, the YEP understands Leeds have been in contact with the player and his representatives to provide assurances over playing time if he chooses to return to Ellen Road. Again, if he chooses. So has he chose? Where's he said it's open? All it's saying is Leeds have said, we'll give you game time. And he said, yeah, it's no good now. You've been relegated. I could make a permanent switch to Luton. You know, because it does say, while it remains a distinct possibility following Luton's promotion, a permanent switch to Kenilworth is not a foregone conclusion. Look, I'll be real with you. I would love to keep Drameh, but I just don't see how, after being loaned out for 2 seasons, he's all of a sudden has a route about face and says, yeah, I'll stay. He's got a year left on his deal, which means Leeds United could sell him for a cut-down price. He apparently is wanted by Burnley. I dare say Sheffield United would take him, and I do think Luton would take him. But there'll be other clubs outside of that, just above that might want to look at Cody Drameh as well as a distinct prospect, like Leeds United did when we picked him up from Fulham. So although the article says it doesn't, if you know what I mean. Although it says he's up, it doesn't really. Yes, the YEP understand he might have spoken to his camp and said, you'll get game time, but that for me doesn't really mean anything. I don't think he will stay. Why would he stay? He could go to a Premier League club now, and Leeds United are in the Championship. And in his mind, we've probably messed him about. So there we go. If we can't keep Drameh, I think we should try get Jed Spence. Again, Jed Spence is out of our remit, Josh. If anywhere, he'll go to another Premier League club. Forest would have took him if Spurs wouldn't have signed him permanently. So, yeah. I just, although the article, I do think the title of the article is a little bit clickbaity because it says Cody Drameh open to staying at Leeds, but there's nothing in there that says Cody Drameh. It says, if he comes back, so I don't know. But I did get tagged in it and I got excited by it because I was thinking if Cody Drameh could stay and would stay, it'd be exceptional for us. Exceptional. But I just don't see it as being likely at this moment in time. So listen, Victor Orta might be getting another job. Apparently wanted by Espanyol. Good luck to him. We know there's still the Sampdoria stuff. Apparently, so GMT time, 12:30 GMT time, which is what? What does that equate to in British summertime? Let's have a look. 1:30, which is an hour ago. So according to one of the articles, it says shareholder meeting at Sampdoria at 12:30, which is 1:30 our time, to try and hash out the deal with Radrizzani. Needs done today or face a points penalty for next season due to unpaid wages. Could get worse too in terms of points deduction, etc. So no agreement as of yet. Ferrero, I guess, is the current owner, is hard-headed and difficult to deal with, to be polite about it. I struggle to see this resolving quickly, especially with the parties involved on both sides. This issue could also mean Leeds United have to wait to be sold. Maybe Radrizzani's not willing to relinquish control of Leeds United until Sampdoria goes through. But apparently there was a showdown meeting, if you like, shareholder meeting that went on a couple of hours ago now. So we'll wait to hear the fallout from that, no doubt, over the next, couple of hours. Give us something to chat about tonight on the late night Leeds. Look, we know Dan James. A lot of people have been bigging Dan James up, saying he could do a job in the champion. I'm not overly convinced, but it's been reported now that he is expected to return to Leeds after spending the season on loan at Fulham. A report from the Daily Mail has shared some more details on who may be staying or going at Ellen Road this summer. But yeah, apparently Dan James looks set to rejoin Leeds, having been at Fulham this season. It'll be interesting to see. Could he return? I'm not sure, but listen, he's gone to Fulham and not really done all. Old Bob says Dan James thinks of Sheffield United. That's what I'm saying, lower end clubs. But again, I think the thing is with Dan James, he carries a hefty wage probably for these lower. Because I think, looking at Burnley aside, even though Burnley, I don't know their financial situation, but for me, Sheffield United and Luton will come straight back down. Do you know, like this season was the season where no one was cut adrift? I genuinely feel that Luton and Sheffield United will get cut adrift. I do. That's my early prediction. It might be wrong, obviously, but I think because of the financial might needed, I'm not sure they'll make a good fist of it. But I think ultimately they'll get cut adrift, like we've seen in previous seasons. This was the only season in a very long time that that teams haven't got cut adrift, and that's fine. You can disagree, but we'll see. Their home form definitely will, if they can make it a bit of a fortress for sure. Abdul Rahman says, sell Melier, get Johnston from Palace, 100%. Must keep Cini. He'll be sold, mate. Adams and Nonto, hopeful, fingers crossed. Confident of coming up next season, yeah. So am I at this moment in time, at this juncture, but we need to see who's going to be owning us. Yeah, look, you can't Yorkshire Peacocks because he's got a year left. So if someone's going to give you cash, we'll need it. Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see if Dan James does fancy a run in the Championship. Look, much like Cody, Dan James probably feels like he was screwed a little bit by Leeds. We took the piss out of him a little bit as well. I mean, we almost tried to do the same to Jack Harrison, which is insane when you think about it. It is insane, but it'll be interesting to see what Dan James does and whether or not he'll be he probably could be a success in the Championship for Leeds. But then are we not just going to want to move him on when we get promoted? Because I still don't think he's that good in the Premier League. That's just my opinion. Gelhard's status, I expect him to come back and play a big part. Julio, definitely be a squad player that'll get minutes in a 46-game season. There doesn't seem to be any sort of noise. And I think Joffrey will come back. And he did have a good end to the season with Sunderland, so I'd like to see him come back. This was 3 hours ago, so this is just on Sampdoria again. Di Marzio ruling out a forced capital increase for Sampdoria, which will permit to rule out Ferrero's veto, but will lead to a legal controversy with him. An agreement between Rads and Ferrero doesn't seem possible today. The shareholders' meeting is about to start in Genoa. So, yeah, I wonder if he's tweeted out since. Let me just have a look, because that was 3 hours ago. No, he hasn't tweeted. He hasn't tweeted out. He did say, though, this was again 12:51. As a Leeds fan, I hope we'll soon have clarity regarding the future of our club and the possibility of a takeover. But I wish the best to Sampdoria fans as they are fighting for the survival of their club. Yeah, okay. So Andrea Russo, I'm going to follow and get notifications on because he's clearly working in Italy and is a Leeds fan. So it'll be interesting to see. He might be a good person to follow. But yeah, we know, well, at least we know now 100% that board meeting is taking place. Whether or not the current owner is going to be able to veto Radrizzani, but it could involve legal battles, which then could involve more money, etc. And Radrizzani might say, "Heck yeah, I'm going to stay at Leeds United for a season," which is not what we want. The Daily Mail, again, take it with a pinch of salt, folks. But they are reporting that Leeds United are still admirers of Carlos Corberán. I would like to see him come back. I can't lie to you. I think young, up-and-coming coach. I know my man Jamie, who is here a lot. Yeah, I've read that. I've seen the video, Econ. I don't think it's give us anything new. I think Carlos Corberán know what's expected from the club. You know, he did great at Huddersfield, did well for West Brom as well. And I just think it'd fit like a hand in a glove, to be honest. He'll know a lot of the players as well. It'll work. I think it could work. I think it could work. What's your thoughts? I'll tell you what, I'm going to do a quick poll on that actually, because I wonder what people's thoughts are. Right, I'm going to ask the community. I'm going to let that run. Listen, there's 570 people watching, 211 likes. Please smash a like on the video. If you haven't already, vote in that poll as well. My vote is yes, I would take Corberán. It'd be better than a Big Sam, for example, but we'll have to wait and see if there is actually validity to that. But I would imagine he probably does have a lot of admirers. Of course he does, because he did great when he was here. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of admirers around him. Rasmus Christensen's been speaking as well in a Danish publication called Tipsbladet. He's been speaking about his future and basically said that his future depends firstly on the club and who they decide to keep. I think Rasmus is up for staying around. First of all, there is a valuation of all the players in the club. He said it's a new situation for Leeds. So first of all, we have to find out who will be here. If someone points to me, I'm ready. I have a long contract left, and it may well be it was not what I had imagined. I must be the first to say it wasn't. The realities are such that we have to play in the championship next season, and I intend to stand by the realities until, or if I am introduced to some new ones. That is probably the best answer I can give now. I think Rasmus stays. I think centre-back or as a right-back option, I think he could do a job in the Championship, and it might help him adjust to English football. I agree with you, Steve. I don't think there's any need to move him on. I think the character that he is, for me, I think he would stand and be counted and say, I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay. I think the fans deserve that of me. Not like some of these that are already twerking for other clubs. So, yeah. Clarky, just on this, the manager or the owner at Olympiacos is Marinakis, the same owner at Nottingham Forest. If it weren't for the fans, Nottingham Forest would have sacked Steve Cooper. Trust and believe that. I don't look at that time at Olympiacos with any sort of disdain or anything for Corberán's record personally, because I think their owner's batshit crazy. Pavarotti 2.0. Yeah, I've spoken about Drameh. Yeah. Yes, true. I love that. Yeah, and listen, Archie Gray has been scoring goals whilst on international duty. Lovely little goal from the right back position on the outside of the back. I don't know on the outside of the box. I don't know why he's playing right back, but it's a lovely finish against Switzerland. I can't share it with you, unfortunately, because it'll probably get taken down. But yeah, expecting minutes for Archie Gray this season for sure. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I've listened. I'm just going to listen. Yeah, no, it's the same article. Same thing on Andrea Radrazani, etc. Lyle Thomas says, who's Lyle Thomas? News editor, Sky Sports News. Right, okay, that's cool. Then I'll quickly show you his tweaks. It's not an actual video, so I can share what's been said by Mr. Lyle Thomas. Sorry, it says Leeds United owner Andrea Radrazani remains locked in talks with the 49ers enterprise over sale. Flew to US late last week to start brokering revised deal in the event of relegation. Takeover hangs in the balance with a lot of work to do ahead of next season. So we know that he's been out in the States. I think a lot of it is going to depend on this Sampdoria situation. I think if he gets the green light from Sampdoria, he sells Leeds United, which gives him the capital to then be able to put that into Sampdoria. If for whatever reason that falls apart, then Radrazani doesn't have a football club. So therefore, maybe he stays at Leeds United, which would be the worst thing for us, I think. I think we would still have a chance of returning. I do. I think he'd go and get a director of football, but we all need to have a clean break, not just for us, but him as well. You know what I mean? So I don't think it'd go down well if he stuck around the place, if I'm being totally honest. And we might even see protests like, you know, Bates, Chilino days. And that's fact. And Rocco made a great point yesterday. At least they had the audacity to face up to it. This guy just left like a rat from a sinking ship. Piss poor. Piss poor indeed. Listen, folks, I have work at 5 o'clock. So I want to go get prepped for that. I will be back tonight for late night Leeds. Probably going to be about 11:15, something like that. Hopefully we'll hear what's happened on this Sampdoria. But there was so much news today that I wanted to just cover up what we'd cover up. Lodi says there's also nothing to say Drameh wants to lead to. No, I agree, bro, but I'm just giving you my opinion, innit? And that's a counter narrative, but we'll see. I think the fact that he's pushed through 2 loans tells me he's not happy. Hi, would you take any players from non-league? I don't know any, Danny, so I don't know, but sometimes there's gems out there, right? Jermaine Beckford was at Wealdstone. We know that Jamie Vardy. You've just to look at the guy that's just come up with Luton, who's played in every single division. Yeah, Tanya, I believe. This is what I'm saying. I don't know. I think the tweets have been taken down by 29 anyway, but I read some of it and I thought I'm not engaging. I can't be chewed. Not because I like 29. You know, we've chatted, but for me, it's like, just move on. They've gone now. We're in the EFL. Just move on. You know, don't cry over spilt milk, says the English saying. You know what I mean? So, yeah, listen, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, hit that notification. Lou Leeds 93, funny. We move. I'll be back tonight, late night Leeds. Hopefully we'll hear what happens on the back end of this Sampdoria locked in talks, because I feel that could really have a bearing on what's going to happen at Leeds United. But yeah, listen, if Aronson punched someone, he'd break his own hand, wouldn't he? Let's be real. But yeah, smash a like, subscribe, comment, notification bell, and I'll see you later on tonight, yeah? Peace out and keep the faith, folks, because Leeds United are going to be back. Oh, finish poll. Someone says, finish the poll, Joe. Sorry, yeah, 70%, folks. 70% of people have said that they would be okay with Carlos Corberán, which is good. And I think a lot in and around the ground will be happy with that appointment as well. And Andrea Russo has just followed me back. So therefore, I'm going to slide into his DMs and find out from Andrea Russo what's going on with Radrazani, folks. So maybe I can bring that to you tonight. Listen, I'll see you on the other side now, and I'm going to go to work now. Got work till 11 o'clock. Pray for me. Peace out.